front of you most of the categories of what you need to fill out on your tax return as deductible. Not all of it, but a lot of it will be in the income section. So it's a really good idea to have your tax return and have some idea of what, you know, if you're going to be the same as last year, it's easy. If you're not, then you need to have some idea.
Because they have various categories of income: wages versus Social Security versus, even if you're self-employed, they want the gross income. And then you scroll down a little bit and you come to the adjustments. So you take off student loans, and you take off alimony, and you take off what you put in the IRA. And so there's all these different categories. And that's the most complicated part of the whole application, is the income part.
So you want to have a lot of college loans,
It's just the
paying alimony,
it's just the
and have a lot
interest
of
on
IRAs,
loans.
then you get a good deal.
And you can game the system.
Who else has a question? Thomas?
Yeah, I have a question about the last 3 years of things being implemented. Obviously, they're morally acceptable and we really enjoy them. But as far as capitalistic outcomes, what does that look like with the last 3 years of implementation of the Affordable Care Act?
Well, so I would say that the major provisions of the ACA are not really being initiated until January, essentially. So as far as, and I'm assuming when you say capitalistic, you're talking about what is going to be sort of the wide-scale economic impact?
What does it look like over the last 3 years for the ones that have been implemented?
Okay, the ones that have been implemented. So there hasn't been,
I could speak to that.
okay, go ahead and speak to that.
Okay, because the insurance comes in. One of the things, for instance, no child under 19 could be denied coverage. A child could stay on their parent's plan up to age 26, regardless of school, marriage, or financial independence. Normally, you get kicked off at 19 if you're not in school, or you get kicked off at 23, or if you get married. So, and then, of course, the preventative services that were covered in full. The insurance companies have always told us agents, we're looking at a 2 to 3% rate impact for those. That's not a lot in my mind. So I think it's been fairly minimal. The biggest changes are, of course, the change.
And we don't really know how the cost containment pieces that are the limits to the insurance rate hikes that are in the ACA, how that will impact things. One of the things that they're still waiting to see how it plays out that's really going to affect a lot of this financially is what happens with the younger, healthier population. If the younger, healthier population, we don't get those folks enrolled in larger numbers, it's going to create a fairly unsustainable system. And unfortunately, right now, that's a little bit more challenging, particularly with I was just reading an article on how the portal not working is affecting enrollment of the younger population. And there's some sense that having the portals not working nationally is really impacting the under 30 population from enrolling. One good place to go to for a source of ongoing information in Oregon on these types of issues is the Lund Report. It is, you can look it up online, it's a free healthcare newsletter in Oregon, strictly on healthcare. It's a subscription, but it's a free subscription. And the reporters do really a pretty good analysis of Oregon insurance companies, rate hikes, what the insurance commission is doing, etc. And that's a good place to keep up with it on a day-to-day basis.
Lund, L-U-N-D.
L-U-N-D, the Lund Report. So I think you have to stay tuned. The huge economic impacts are what's coming, and a lot of that's going to depend on